Benediktas Cirba against Rabih Al Awar. Now, here we go. Cirba takes the lead in the BMW. Nice bright yellow color, nice wide outside line, exactly what we want to see. Ooh, 2 wheels off track here as we have failure to chase from Al Awar. Al Awar does have some mechanical difficulties with the car. Look at the back end of that E36 BMW M3. A lot of damage at the back of that car. Had a heavy wall impact in practice before we went out for the top 32 here today, and is clearly having some difficulties with that car. Very, very... And we're off. Al Awar takes a strong lead here, enters early, enters wide, comes out of that outside zone though, having some difficulties here as Cirba is being led off track. Now, we'll revert to that in a moment. There is an element there that is okay for Cirba as he's following the lead driver. Nice wide line now from Al Awar as the car seems to be working for him. He misses that inner clipping point, comes out to clipping point 5 now. Here's one of the areas that he had an impact with the wall earlier on, and also had a very heavy impact with the finish wall there. And again, straightens up the car and now hits the wall very hard. Benediktas there, but it's coming back strong now. Cirba to lead. And Harbali to chase. Very, very close. Lacking a little bit of angle, both drivers. As Harbali now tries to gain back proximity as they go through the first half of the course. Out to clipping point 3. Harbali goes a little bit too deep there, overcommits, as Cirba still stays on power, on throttle, all the way out to scoring zone 5. Takes out some cones, dips a wheel off the track. Is going to get penalised ever so slightly for that as they come across the finish line. Cirba chasing. Al Harbali leading. Up against the wall, nice aggressive entry. Look at him on that line. Stays on that line the entire way around. Absolutely point perfect. Al Harbali now transitions across. Great lead line. Stays on track. Cirba is nice and close. But remember, it's easy to chase if that line is perfect. Transition across. Al Harbali now nice and wide out to the outside line. Cirba there the entire time. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. Cirba to chase, full throttle in, up against the wall. Makhseed firmly, and a few wheels offline here, as Cirba is now really closing in on Makhseed. Look at how close he is, literally inches away. Transitions across, back on his door again. Cirba really here with a point to prove this run. Good line now as they go through their own smoke, as Makhseed goes out to zone 5. Again, dipping a wheel there. He's got to be careful that he doesn't do what Daham did and goes off as he comes across. Cirba to lead, Makhseed to chase. Transition in, a little bit off the wall, but firmly inside that first zone and not going outside critically. Absolutely perfect. Nice line from Cirba. Great proximity here from Makhseed. Nice and wide transition as there's a big fire, an engine fire in Makhseed's car. Absolute disaster for Ali Makhseed. As mentioned before, issues there and mechanical difficulties with Makhseed's car. Here we go, Cirba leading, Baggsy chasing, Baggsy on the back foot already, trying to chase down Cirba. Big initiation by Cirba and nice and wide. Baggsy following suit, over rotation there almost by Cirba, but nice and wide as he comes through the end of scoring zone 1. Transitions across to clip 2. Baggsy on the door of Cirba, now losing a little bit of transition. A lot of angle by Cirba and pulling a gap still, clearly with a lot of grip dial into that car. Good line from both drivers, but only now is Baggsy closing in on him. Getting right on the door we go. Baggsy to lead. Up the straight, entering in Baggsy on that wall. Nice and wide line from Baggsy. Deep into that scoring zone 1. Ever so slightly over the line, but bang on the line now. Great proximity from Cirba though, nice and close. Early transition from Cirba, taking that inside line, but proximity is still there, aggression is there. Baggsy cannot leave him at all. Cirba is still close, putting a little bit of a gap now. Cirba strategically taking that inside line to finish tight. Oh, this is going to be close. Cirba leading, Oort chasing. Down the front straight, entering in, Cirba hard onto the wall, little bit offline there, could have been deeper, now a little bit wide, drops a wheel. Oort is right on his door as we go through the transition into clipping point 2. Severe angle here, dropping a wheel over is Cirba, but stays wide and stays on angle as they go through their own smoke in clipping point 4. Out wide for zone 5, all the way through. Cirba just about staying on the circuit. Oort is, and we're off. Lights are green, down the main straight. Oort initiates, up against the wall. Great initiation by Oort. On that white line, perfect initiation. Doesn't go off circuit. Now out to clipping point 2 as he transitions back there. Clipping point 2, nice and on line. Out to the wall, perfect run from Oort. Nice proximity here from Cirba, but Oort's lead line is way better. Drops a little wheel, just like Cirba did. Nice and wide, nice and close from Cirba as they go across the finish line. Door to door. But of course, I don't know. We have to wait and see. Coming in second place, we have Benediktas Cirba, which means, of course, only one thing.